Hey guys! I'm back. Today we're going to talk about how to make your costume higher quality and, better made so it doesn't fall apart or the fabric's not very nice. We're going to talk about how to get high quality fabrics for a cheap price. We're going to talk about how to make props that won't break, props that aren't made out of cardboard or foam or anything. I mean, you can use foam, but nothing that's going to, wobble or wiggle or, you know what I mean. Talk about that. I don't know really basically what to call it, but that's what's going to happen. See, you got my lovely new background here. I got sick of sitting in my corner of my room because I just needed, and I get a chair this time, so that's good. But to start things off, sometimes maybe you're a beginner cosplay, as most of us are here in this area of the world, and maybe you want to make, or maybe you're just been cosplaying forever and you want to make your costumes higher quality. I'm not an expert. I'm just going to start out there that I'm not an expert. What the information I give you today is going to be the information that I know. But ask questions, because I might not say something that I might have just gone over my head. But yeah, questions at the end of this video. But today, we're going to start off with props. Let's just go for it. A lot of people like to make props out of cardboard or foam, and then they complain about when, they carry it around and it gets damaged or it breaks. You never want your prop to break during your convention or during whatever, your photo shoot or whatever. So, this is my love, my staff. And I made this sucker out of wood. I don't know if you can tell. It's probably not going to focus because my camera does not focus. But this is a dowel, a wooden dowel, and then this was just scraps that my grandpa had. If you can see it, scraps that my grandpa had, and he cut them out for me using a jigsaw. And I did the design or whatever. This is Fi's staff from Tsubasa. Yeah. And then we just wood glued it all together. And then the end is pretty much the same. If we can get this around here, the end is all wood. And then I spackled the sides so that it gave a smooth finish. This one's falling apart a little bit because I haven't fixed it quite nicely yet. But, so, we'll just set this sucker back here. So that's made out of wood. I would most likely use wood. You could use resin, but you can't really make lots of big stuff out of that. If it's maybe like bigger, if it's a bigger thing, I'd use wood, like a staff or something. If it's, something smaller, I use foam. If you paint props, always use a gloss, because my staff is gold, and I had gold all over my gloves because I was wearing black gloves. And I had gold everywhere just because it would get on stuff. So if you have something that's a color or needs to be painted, always get like a spray paint gloss or like a paint on gloss that's going to be smooth, so that your paint doesn't come off or it doesn't chip off. Also on props, for gems, you can use resin and get like, you can find online, you can get molds for resin, and then you can get pigments. Also, costumes now. Costumes. When you're looking for fabric, I did talk about this a little bit in how to start cosplaying, but when you're looking for a fabric, I would always go with something that's cotton or feels like cotton, like not stretchy. Don't, if it's something that's not supposed to be fit to your body, don't do a stretch. Stretch fabrics are good for like when it's supposed to be really tight to your body, and then you can get in it and it stretches a little bit. Also, don't use spandex unless it's something that's supposed to be like a bodysuit. You know, I don't want to say don't use this unless, because, you know, there's lots of special cases where you should use that instead. Generally, I don't use spandex unless it is something that would be, you know, tight to me. I used spandex for an eye patch that had to be spirit gummed to my face. That was really hard to sew. Spandex is always really hard to sew. Stretch fabrics are hard to sew. Stuff that's like reminds you of water, you know, like you just can't like hold on to it. You can't really like, it slips out of your hands. That's gonna be really hard to sew. I would do that like maybe hand sewing for that, or I would take fabric glue and hem that if it's just hemming you need to do. If you need to, you know, put stuff together, I would not use fabric glue. But when using like billowy stuff, like big billowy pants or I made a coat, but I did something like similar to cotton. It wasn't cotton, it was oh, the mailman's here. It was like an upholstery fabric, like a white, because it was cheaper, because I could not afford to buy 5 yards of cotton. But the yeah, so use non-starch fabrics. You could use a denim. Denims are really nice if you need like structure in something, or you need something to just be like, you know, pleated nice and big puffy denims. Not like blue denim obviously, but you know, maybe get like a black denim or something that's similar to a black denim, like with that kind of like structure. When you go fabric shopping, always just touch things to know their structure. Like you can tell that, you know, these shorts have a little bit more structure than a shirt like this would, because it's, you know, wrinkly, and you can just tell by the way you hold things. This one's heavier, this one's lighter. When you go in, touch like whatever fabric you're considering. If you find one that's exactly the color you need, then go in and touch it and like, oh, okay, like is this the, you know, structure I need? I'm making big billowy pants. It needs to have lots of structure. This is too slippery, this is too thin, I can't, you know. Also think about if you need to wear, if you're a girl and you need to wear a bra underneath, will it show through with the fabric you're wearing? Or using, where's my phone? Oh. You always want to make sure that, I try to think of that, and then I buy fabric, and I'm like, oh, just kidding, I need to, like, you know, think if you need to have lining, or if you need to overlap it, you know, allow for, you know, separate parts. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I can't get my words out. It's summer, guys. It does not have to be super expensive. You don't need to pay $1 billion to have a good quality cosplay. I mean, maybe it'll cost $100 at the end of it all with your prop, your hair, your wig, your costume, your shoes, everything. Maybe it'll end up costing $100, or maybe a little bit more than that, depending on the person. But it doesn't have to cost, you know, $500 because you're buying, you know, velvet. Before you go in and like get your fabric, research your person, you know, measure your body, research your patterns, get your patterns first. Know how you're gonna make everything, and know the amounts you need to get. Look up tutorials on how, you know, to make this person's costume. And then, you know, let's say I need 5 yards of white, 5 yards of blue, you know, half a yard of white fur, I need 3 yards of pink, you know, whatever. So you know how much you're going to need. Maybe even get like 1/4 of a yard more than you need, or half a yard more than you need, because I have gotten seriously like an inch close to, like, I just have scraps left, stuff that you throw away, you don't even use, you know, and it like just makes my whole costume. It was crazy. This coat, it just, so many, ugh. But yeah, it's, you know, get a little bit more than you need. You don't need to get 2 yards more than you need, because then you've got leftover fabric you don't know what to do with. But, you know, that's my 2 cents on fabric. If you have any questions about fabric, you know, put it in the box, put it in the comment box, let me know. I will tell you, because some stuff I'm not going to go over. I'm not going to go over every single little thing about your fabric and ribbon and all the crap you have to do, because that would be a whole nother video, and it would probably be 2 videos, because I can't, you know, think of everything. So ask your questions. ask away. Because I already have a video about wigs and where, you know, how to style them and how to buy them and where to buy them, so I will link you here. Basically, just with wigs, just know your sources, know what shops to buy at, know what stores are reliable. If you liked this video, subscribe, like, comment, let me know. I don't get lots of feedback, you guys. So, I do have a Tumblr. I believe I will put that link in the description. Also, yeah. Have a good day. Okay, bye guys!